If you are new to game design, then you probably want to create multiplayer games. Who wouldn't? They're exponentially more fun than single player games, and with the right group of people can lead to far greater memories. If you're of my generation, then you most likely grew up playing a little game called Club Penguin. This game touched the hearts of many, and I know I for one have really fond memories of the game. These memories mostly consist of the island's limited array of minigames, whether that be Mancala or Aqua Grabber, but there is one game that I'm mostly certain you will like: Sled Racing. Whoa, before the comments flush in saying, "Oh, so you did one game jam with Polymars and now you think it's okay to copy his content." Well, yeah. In all seriousness though, I've wanted to learn networking for the longest time, and there's no better game to do so than Sled Racing. Here's why. Sled Racing is pretty simple. It only consists of a few small components: the players, the tracks, and the lobby. The lobby is the easiest thing to network, as there's an abundance of tutorials just waiting for me to watch them. The players are also pretty easy to network if you think about it, because there are only two things we need to track about the player: their position horizontally, or which one of the 6 spaces that they're sat in, and their distance from the start/finish line. The final thing that we need to network is the track, which is easier said than done. We need some way to randomly generate some data on the server that is sent to the client when they connect, and then that client has to build the track. But this data has to be synced between clients, so I have no idea how hard this will be, so we'll just have to wait and see. Obviously, the first thing to do is create ourselves a new Unity project and boot that up. I really had no idea what to do next, so I thought making the slope for the player would probably be a good starting point. With that imported into Unity, I moved on to making a way to spawn the slopes. A piece will spawn on startup, and then the pieces will be placed at this offset. I also wanted the slopes to move and not the player, but that didn't quite go as planned. With that now working, I needed a way to calculate the vector that the ramp follows. This is very important, as the vector can be rotated 90 degrees by inverting the Y parameter to give us the player's horizontal plane. And that calculation looks a little something like this. For some reason, I was getting an offset bug with the slope pieces and I had no idea why, but I fixed it by giving a little more precision on the float. At this point I was bored, so I added some music. Hell yeah. Next, I added the player's horizontal movement using the master vector, but it was moving 6 spaces instead of 5. To fix this, I made the player move 1/5 of the greater distance each key press. I resized the player because he was kind of chonky. With Club Penguin being hand-drawn, I can't get hold of a lot of the animations, so I added a little spin instead. I did, however, hand-draw the background, and add that using in parallax. At this point, my brain realised there was an issue, and if we wanted the player to be able to interact with the environment, then things will be much easier if we let them move and not the background. Otherwise, the collision won't really do much. So back to the drawing board to come up with this. I also added the camera with this horrible line of code. Alright, so with the player movement working, it was time to try some networking. I'd rather have got it done then than start overcomplicating things and make things just horrible to work with. So I started by trying to connect over my laptop and PC using one of the demos provided by Mirror, and got it working, surprisingly. The framework I am using is Mirror, and it handles the player's transform on its own accord, so I am left to do all the other stuff. So back to Sled Racing. I got the player to spawn when they connect rather than on start. Then I got 2 players in, but there was some really horrible smoothing, so fixing that, I had something that felt very similar to the old school Club Penguin Sled Racing. So now we have completed the player part of the networking, we must move on to the track. The track, as I explained before, needs a server-side seed of some sort. Jesus Christ, that's a tongue twister. So I got working on that. It took me forever to figure out that there is literally a data type that syncs across clients, but oh well. The next part is pretty boring, so I'll go quick, but it was basically about making the pieces of the track. The posts, the ice, the logs. Here we have these spawning in. The logs are also synced between clients, as you can see. Then I added some colliders to the logs and the player, and with that, the penguin can now fall over. The ice patches also speed you up. I generated the ice patches randomly on the client, not the server, so I added a second list that stores ints between 0 and 3 and used that to calculate the ice piece position. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we had a scuffed but finished game. It's time to playtest. Unfortunately, my microphone broke during these 2 clips, but here's Tantan playing the game.
Okay.
I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Hey!
Shit.
Oh!
Leave me alone? Bruh. No!
Aha! Aha!
Oh god. You're so trash.
Oh, no! This is so easy.
Bro, what do you mean easy?
come on. Where is the finish
You're not gonna
line?
beat me. You're not.
Easy, easy.
So there it is, Club Penguin Sled Racing recreated. If you guys want me to add anything else to the game, like stuff that wasn't in the original, or you know, anything for a part 2 of this video, I'll do that. Also, this video took me like so many hours to edit. I kind of discovered After Effects halfway through and I'm in love. So, you know, if you guys enjoyed it, if you respected it, whatever, then make sure to leave a like and maybe subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.